Guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, Michelle Flawless. Tonight is a new video, so don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my channel, please. Tonight I'm going to be talking about my previous neighbours back at Hermand Crescent, who they made my life an absolute misery. They really did. Anybody is allowed to play loud music. Don't give a fuck what anyone says. Didn't play it all the time, just played it now and then. But the new neighbours that moved in at Hermand Crescent clearly had an issue with it. I'm not actually supposed to be talking about this because I'm on bail. I fled to Scotland and I broke my bail conditions, but I actually couldn't give a shit because do you know what? I'm a fighter, not a quitter. And at the end of the day, well, no, actually, I don't think I have broken my bail conditions because I haven't mentioned their names. Have I? Oh, well, I think I have. I don't give a shit. I really don't give a shit. Because you cunts that did this to me are horrible people. You know what I mean? They deliberately went to my landlord, constantly pestering the landlord to get me evicted on purpose. They deliberately kept calling the police on me on purpose back at Hermand Crescent when I had my music on, when I had my CCTV up on my door. For no reason. Just because they couldn't mind their own fucking business. Because my house stood out far better than anybody else's in that scabby shithole of Hermand Crescent. Because my house was lovely and I took pride in my house, it stuck out from everybody else's. So what? Who gives a shit? But because mine looked the best, and because these stupid cunts that moved in from London, I believe, because they moved in, they thought they owned the fucking place. I had him threatening me up the stairwell. He then got his iPhone and was like that, and was like recording me in my private space near my home. On the landing. Oh yes, Laidlaw, he did, yeah. And I'll tell you the reason why I left Edinburgh and I'm never going back is because the cunts got me charged and got me put on bail. I'm supposed to be going back to Scotland in Christmas time to go back to court. I'm not going. They can fuck off. I'm not going. Nobody knows where I am. I don't even have a SIM card and they can't get me because I'm miles and miles away and I will never tell anyone where I am. You know what I mean? So I've had a fresh start, Laidlaw. I've had a fresh start. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought, do you know what? There's only so much I can deal with here, and it was making me suicidal. It was making me suicidal. I left Scotland because I know if I would have endured that shit anymore going on with the neighbours, I was very suicidal, and because I got no friends and because I got no family, I would have took my life. The night I had a mental breakdown, and I ripped the bedroom door off almost in my previous accommodation back at Hermand Crescent because I was slamming the door because the absolute spastic that used to live above me was keeping me up, jumping all over my ceiling like an elephant, walking all over the ceiling. Do you know what I mean? But according to him, I'd lived there for a year, but he had the audacity to come to my door and say, I cause problems for everyone, apparently. No, I fucking don't. Only if you bring it to my door, I cause problems. Do you know what I mean? This spastic couldn't mind his own business. Yeah, you, if you're listening, you. You should have minded your own fucking business, reeled your neck in, and kept your shit to yourself. I don't need to hear your shit. I don't need you going around all the fucking neighbours bitching about me. Talking about me all the time because I'm the most fucking important one, bruv, in the whole fucking building, aren't I? I don't fucking think so, bruv. But no, these neighbours decided to call the police on a daily basis. But because Scotland, unfortunately, they have an LGBT gay scene, but they don't take hate crime very seriously. So it's alright for 5 neighbours to lie and bullshit about me. Not saying names for legal reasons. But, I've even got their names on my charge sheet, but I've ripped all my fucking charge sheet up. They can fuck off. They can fuck off. That was making me suicidal. I nearly took my life before I chucked all my door closers out Laidlaw and I left my flat in Birmingham, in Edinburgh. I nearly killed myself because I could not deal with the stress that I was under. You know what I mean? And then I had one spastic that messaged me, which was a previous neighbour from Hermand Crescent, messaged me saying, haha, can't wait, you're gonna end up back in prison, you are. Ah, we'll make sure of it. Nah, that was the final straw. That was the straw, bruv, that broke the camel's back. So I thought, you know what? Nah, fuck this shit. I've had enough. I've got too much. There was too much going on. I've got a bad criminal past history. Not going into that. That's my past, right? I'm still a decent person at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Sometimes we all deserve second chances, and this was my second chance of life. Years ago, back in fucking Scotland. Been there. I've done well, guys. I've been in Scotland for 6 years. I've lasted that long in Scotland for 6 years. You know what I mean? I've done so well until some neighbours sucked their own fucking nose in and decided to fuck my fucking future up. But let me tell you now, you cunts, I am coming back hard at you. And I tell you what, when it's all over, well, it is over as far as I'm concerned, because I'm away from it now and I don't have to ever go through that shit again. So I'm proud because it's something what I would not normally do. But I thought, you know what? It's not serious. The charges aren't that serious. They had me charged for malicious communications, a load of fucking bollocks. It's not bollocks at all. I was speaking my mind. And if they don't like that, then they should have fucking... You should have mind your own business. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, you stupid cow that's watching. That had me done for malicious allegations. I'm allowed to speak on my YouTube channel. If you don't like me speaking about you on my YouTube channel, 1, you shouldn't have fucked my life up. 2, you shouldn't have got me evicted. And 3, you shouldn't have made malicious allegations to Scotland Police because they've got it all on file. But the funny thing is, guys, guess what? I'm paying for a solicitor and I'm dragging all my previous neighbours from Hermand Crescent. I am having them done. I'm having them done for wasting police time, and I'll have them charged as well. I'll have you charged for fucking deliberately inciting violence against me and harassment and fucking, what's the word? I actually got illegally evicted as well. So yeah, not happy. Not happy at all. I had 24 hours to pack all my stuff. That was all I got. You know what I mean? But it's fine. I've got all their addresses down on a piece of paper. And let's just say the previous enemies that I had back in England years and years ago, where they begged me to stop ruining their lives, I'm doing it tenfold to these fucking cunts. I've already got a few people blacklisted anyway from that building. So they'll never be able to get a council property, or wherever they try and go and get a property, they won't be able to get one. Oh well. The guy downstairs that had the fucking for sale sign up outside, mate. You might as well fucking move, mate. Giozo Didantepe. Can't even say his name properly. Josovai Javantepe. There you go. It's his new name. Yeah. This Giozo Javantepe guy, right, got in my way when I was trying to leave my house because I was packing my stuff because I moved into a different place, right? This is after the shit they've caused me. Laidlaw. Yeah, tell me how you feel, sweetheart. I packed all my shit up from Hermand Crescent. Lovely little home. I missed that house already. But I was there for a good year and a half, and I loved my little home. It was like a private student accommodation house. It was lovely. You know what I mean? £850 to live there. And I had someone ages ago say I didn't pay a penny. Yes, of course I did. Of course I paid a penny. I was topping it up for £480 a month to live there. You know what I mean? Don't fucking live off fresh air. Nobody lives off fresh air. But yeah. So I left Hermand Crescent. I had all my door closers. Wait, you ready for this, Laidlaw? I should give them all to you, Laidlaw. I didn't think of that. I had 180... Sorry. You are right, Laidlaw, what you said to me in the comments, and I appreciate that, darling. Thank you. I had £181,000 worth of door closers. That's what I added every single door closer up. 1,000 door closers I had. I had 100 and... Sorry. I emptied my flat of 100 bags, Sainsbury's carrier bags full of door closers. 100 bags. 100 bags. They were all over. They were all over my house. They were all over the cupboard. They were absolutely everywhere. They were everywhere. They're just absolutely everywhere. All over my house. You just couldn't fucking move, bro. You could not move anywhere. Why? Because there's fucking door closers everywhere. But I do miss the collections, Laidlaw. I had my small little door closers. I had big door closers. I had old door closers. I had Centurion door closers. I think the thing that hurts me the most, Laidlaw, is that the ones that I chucked out, which were 58 antique potbelly door closers, they are very hard to get hold of. They're like £280 each on eBay, and I threw 58 out. How stupid am I? But when you're faced with violence and you've got to move, then you've got to move. Do you know what I mean? I tell you why I was faced with violence. I do not like animal cruelty, Laidlaw. And one day I had my television on, and this block adjacent, I heard lots of barking coming from one of the windows. I mind my own business, because I always do mind my own business in my own home. But there's only so much you can hear a dog barking in pain for like half an hour or an hour. So I went to the window, I opened the window to have a look to investigate, right? I had a camera outside the back, I had a camera on my front door. I have cameras all over my house. If people out there don't like me having fucking cameras, don't start fucking shit. I own lots of expensive things and I don't want my shit nicked, so I have cameras up purely for that reason. You know what I mean? I had this guy in front of children say that I was a fucking pedo, bruv. I'm not a pedo at all, whatsoever. How dare you say something like that in front of children at my address? This is what he did, Laidlaw. He said I was a fucking perv, all because I had a fake camera. The camera was fake. That was on my front door, and it was pointing down on my property, on my fucking doorstep, to guard my fucking house. You know what I mean? That's how homophobic these mixed race pair of cunts were. You know what I mean? Hopefully they get back on the fucking boat and they deport the cunts. Fucking horrible bastards. Yeah, you heard. I hope you go back to fucking where you come from, mate. You know what I mean? I should not have had to put up with that. And it feels good to get it off my chest. But no, that's what they put me through, Laidlaw. I had him standing there with his phone like that, recording me, inciting violence against me in my own home. He tried running up the stairs and pulling me down the stairs one day. You know what I mean? And I went down the stairs. One day I was on the phone to my boyfriend that I was with at the time. And I said, I can't fucking wait till I get kicked out. And I said that under my breath. Right? It was not aimed at them. But because I was downstairs near their door and I said it and they heard me. Right? I'm allowed to have a conversation on my phone. Oh, fuck me. The racist piece of fucking shit, not racist, he's fucking black himself. The homophobic piece of shit, right, was stood near the door listening into my phone conversation. You fucking prick. Yeah, you heard. You stood outside, you stood inside your doorway, yeah, and you listened to everything that I said on the phone, yeah? You're gonna laugh, guys. This guy that used to live at number 11 Hermand Crescent had a fucking weird fascination with me. He had a girlfriend. She was lovely, to start off with, until she invited me in for a coffee and then she stabbed me in the back to all the rest of the other neighbours, going to my landlord, getting me kicked out. You know what I mean? Lovely, innit? Lovely. So when it comes to my neighbours, I will never speak to a neighbour again. That's what I've said to myself. Wherever I move to next, I'll just keep myself to myself. I will respect my neighbours, of course I will, but I will just keep myself to myself because I think sometimes in life, Laidlaw, that is the best way, darling. Do you know what I mean? I did not deserve to go through that. And I hope you're happy. Hope you're fucking happy, you fucking slag. Oh, fuck me, I'm on bail and I called it a slag. Never mind. Don't give a shit. You wrecked my life and I will not have anyone out there wreck my life. I don't give a shit. You wrecked my life, you'll fucking pay for it. I'll knock you unconscious. She's lucky I didn't fucking knock them both unconscious, the fucking pair of cunts. So, yeah. I tried to live on my house. I couldn't live on my house because they were besotted with me. The boyfriend was besotted with me. Kept looking at me weird in my makeup. Saying that I was a weirdo because I wear makeup. Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Right? This is to him out there. I wore makeup because I got acid attack years ago. One, that's got nothing to do with you. Two, if I look like a freak. I was fine looking like a freak. Why? Because I like scaring people. That is why I wear makeup. Because I'm insecure in my own body. Because I like to wear makeup. Because that makes me feel better. Because it makes me forget the time I got acid attacked. You know what I mean? Back in Norwich years and years ago when I met up with a fucking bloke off Plenty of Fish for a bit of fun. I got gay bashed to within an inch of my life. I nearly killed. That's why I wear makeup. That's why I look so much of a freak, isn't it? Yeah, thought so. So anyways, they won't mind their own business. One day, he's come out of his fucking front door with the girlfriend stood behind the door and he's gone like that. And I've had my music on. Yes, I have had it on loud, but at the end of the day, it was my birthday and I was celebrating my birthday. Can't even celebrate my birthday. Why? Because they called the police. The pair of cunts called the police. And he stood there like that, recording the stairwell and recording my front door. You're not allowed to do that. If I would have done that to his house, he would have fucking kicked right off. Maybe I should have done. I was accused of recording the stairway and the door anyway. You know what I mean? It was a fake camera. It was a fake dummy camera with a light that flashed. And it was plugged in. It's one you plug in. But yeah, sorry Laidlaw, didn't mean to shout. But no, I feel a lot better now. I feel a lot calmer that I'm out in that situation. You know what I mean? What fucking bail? Gone. Not going. I've got 2 solicitors now as well. 2 solicitors. Not naming names for legal reasons, but they're on it. And they're going to try and get it kicked out of court. But no, I could not give a fuck. 1, they ain't sending me to jail. And 2, I'm not facing it. I'm not facing it because if I face it, 1, I'm going to fucking have a heart attack. Or 2, no, I just could not deal with it. So yeah. You don't know, man. Don't give a shit. But yeah, started afresh now. Laidlaw, like you said, just be happy within yourself and try and pull yourself together and start anew fresh somewhere else. And that's what I've done. You know what I mean? I'm miles and miles and miles and miles and miles and miles away from Scotland. So they can fuck off. They'll never find me. You know what I mean? Can piss off. And I've changed my name now anyway by default. It's not Matthew anymore. So yeah. But yeah, to think they had the audacity to call the police on me. But then wait for it. Scotland police, right? They did fuck all. Scotland police, they want to be ashamed of themselves. Yeah? The 4 neighbours went to the police. They said they listened to me and took my side of the story. Did they fuck? The previous day they ran my house, they arrested me and charging me. But then they said they were going to go and speak to their neighbours to get their side. But they obviously then got all the side and got all the statements in and whatever they did. Then the previous day they came to mine when I was out and tried to charge me. I'm glad I was out. Scotland police are disgusting people. They want to be ashamed of themselves. They really do. Because they don't give a fuck about LGBT people. They actually don't. The night I asked the police officer, there was 4 police officers in my room because I had my makeup on. Probably too scary for everyone, never mind. But I had 4 police officers standing in my house that night, right? I was all calm and collected, but 4, because they like to try and intimidate you, don't they? Do you know what I mean? I'm Satan anyway, and I'll probably be fucking scared to the rest of the life, fucking Laidlaw, do you know what I mean? They'll go home and the next minute they got a fucking door slamming. Why? Because my spirit's latched onto them. Oh, never mind. Piss off then. Leave me alone. Stay away from me. But yeah, anyway, sorry. I asked the custody sergeant officer that was standing in my living room when I was calm and collected. I said, so what's going to happen with my neighbours then? Are they going to get arrested and get charged? And he turned around and said, nah, Matthew, sorry, I don't think that's going to happen. And he just stood there laughing in my face. So it's alright in Scotland for people to make up slander and shit about you because, unfortunately, in Scotland, slander is a law that is, like, there isn't a law against slander in Scotland. You know what I mean? So that's why they did it, because they know they could. And also, they can be very homophobic. They can be as homophobic as they want, because even though there is a hate crime law, you're not, well, Scotland is supposed to cover the hate crime law properly, but they don't. You know what I mean? I back them in England, because at least fucking England deals with hate crime properly, and, you know, they take it very serious. You know what I mean? Where I am, they don't in Scotland. They don't give a fucking shit. They do not give a shit. The police officer turned around and said to me, oh, so you want them charged? I was like, no. And I said, well, my neighbour was being homophobic, the one downstairs, that fucking jizz, I'm going to call him Jizzo Desvantapay. It got in my face with his phone, right? And he went, we'll do a fucking spastic impression of him. He went, ha, like that. He got in my face with his phone like that, right? And was like, recording me. He recorded me. Do you know what I mean? He recorded me like that. Good, I'm glad I fucking recorded you, mate, because I now recorded your house on Google Maps for everyone to see. You can't do anything about it, mate, because 1, it's satire, and 2, it's Google Maps. Anyways, Jizzo Devantapay, that lives at number 1 Hermand Crescent, stood there like that, and he was recording me as I came down the stairs. As I came down the stairs of Hermand Crescent, he stood there recording me like that. When I was trying to pack all my door closers up in the box, and he went through my personal, there you go, I forgot it. He went through my personal stuff, bruv, and was taking pictures of my fucking shit in my own stuff. Laidlaw, how do you think I feel? I want to punch the cunt. How would he like it if his personal stuff was outside in the fucking hallway and I'd gone through it and I took pictures? He actually literally opened my bag. I'm going to show you what he did. So he opened my, he opened my bag. Yeah, he opened my bag, went like this and went, ha! Fucking arsehole. Know what I mean? But I tell you something funny, Laylaw, right? They kept breaking the front door closer on the front security door of the building. And when I had the house meeting, right, they actually spoke to me and were like, Matthew? I was like, yeah. They were like, not Matthew, they were like, Michelle. Get it right. I like to cross dress, so call myself Michelle, obviously. But like, Matthew was like, yeah. They were like, you do need to stop taking that door closer on. You need to leave the door closer alone off the front door. But how can you when people are deliberately breaking it? Like, I'm going to let you into a story. Gizzo Devantebay, that lives at number 1 Hermand Crescent, he took the door closer off the door, putting everyone's lives at risk. Yeah. He put everyone's lives at risk. Right? See this door closer? Yeah? He took that clean off the door. He took a strong one off the door. Because the reason why I put a strong door closer on the front door is because it was like a security door. And when I first moved in, I had one of them on it this week and it was shit. So I put a strong one on there to make sure it closed, because when the wind was against the door would barely close. So I put a door closer on there a few times, and he ripped it off, he took it off, then he put a sign on the door, Laidlaw. This is how fucked up this fucking twat was at 1 Hermand Crescent. He thought he owned the fucking place. You don't own the place. Just because you own your own flat doesn't mean you own the whole fucking building, right? But he took it upon himself, right? We'll get into what she did as well in a minute. He took it upon himself to put a note on the front door saying, didn't say my name, but it said, tenants, can you please leave the door spring alone as people... No, it did actually say my name. No, sorry, it did say that. So it had my name. It said, Matthew, could you please leave the door spring alone as people are finding it difficult to open the front door. Please remind yourself that you are not the only person that lives here. And I just thought, excuse me, I've been here far longer than you, mate. You're a new fucking tenant. So that's the one twerp I had to deal with, 1 Hermand Crescent, right? Hope you're proud of yourself. I hope someone throws a brick through your window and you get new fucking aircon, you fucking horrible cunt. That's him out of the way. That's 1 Hermand Crescent. Then we got the stairs and we got 11 Hermand Crescent, right? Them absolute pricks. No, was it 9? Oh, fucking can't forget it now. 11, oh, whatever it was. Green door it was anyway. You got the stairs, there's a green door, right? So it's them, yeah? I got fed up with people breaking the front security door. These twats that moved in from London at 11 Hermand Crescent, they kept deliberately forcing the front door and kicking the Yale lock on the front door, which is criminal damage, policeman! It's criminal damage. Right? So they were deliberately coming back late at night because I caught them on CCTV because I had a camera that I used to point at the bins, because when I first moved in there was kids outside, jobs outside, that tried to set the bins on fire. So I thought, you know what, fuck this shit. I asked management, I had permission from management, and I asked them to put CCTV camera up. Can I put one up? And they said yes. So the only time I was looking at my iPad was at night time, and it was on for an hour. And then that camera was a real one. Then it would switch off, right? But no, what did they say at 11 Hermand Crescent? Oh my God, he's watching me coming out the fucking car. Oh, they even told the police I was watching them both get out of the car. Is he that fucking paranoid or what? Maybe, you stupid prick, if you weren't dragging your dog down the stairs and fucking yanking it and being all tough nut in front of your mate, maybe I wouldn't have had the camera up. You know what I mean? It wasn't because of him. The camera was there because of the bins in the first place. You know what I mean? That's why the camera was there, because I thought, you know what, fuck this shit. If anything bad happens, I'm not having my house set on fire. So yeah, so I put that there for the safety of everyone else, and it was fine until these pricks moved in. So they moved in, they kept damaging the front door, yeah, because I told the main management and they didn't fuck all about it, but they kept, instead of people coming along and obviously like putting the key in the front door to turn it to push it open, yeah, they would just kick the front door. They would just, there was a Yale latch on the front door that was weak as shit, but they just used to keep kicking the door in, right? So they kept kicking the door and pushing the door, right? When we made up, me and her from 11 Hermand Crescent, fuck knows why I even talked to the bitch in the first place, but when I made up with her, I showed her how to open the front door properly, because I was like, look, here you go. You just push the door open like that, and it opens like that, because I got fed up with fixing it that many times. When it was locked, people would just force the door open anyway. And then the guy underneath me, Mick, he turned around and said to me, oh, don't worry, Matthew, fixing the door. People break it all the time. So I thought, fuck it, I'm not going to fix it anymore. It's not my place to fix. The fucking stupid bastard landlord of Hermand Crescent doesn't give a shit about the building. And he wouldn't even allow them to replace the fucking LED stair lights in the stairwell. They've been asking for years to have proper LED stair lights put all in the stairwell, right? Yeah? Beautiful Victorian modern building back at Hermand Crescent, right? I'm going to give it its dues. It was a lovely area. Beautiful, peaceful, quiet area. Student area. Beautiful, right? The building, as soon as you walked in, really fucked up, weird medieval stairs. Like, proper old building. Like, 1960s, 1950s. You kind of get like a really haunting feeling, right? But yeah, the landlord refused to put any new stair lights in. And at night time, when the lights were supposed to kick in automatically, they never did. They never did sometimes. So yeah, hopefully now, the stupid spastic landlord of Hermand Crescent put some new fucking LEDs lights in, because there was children that used to live in that building, and then one of them nearly fell down the stairs one night because the lights wouldn't come on automatically. Mental, Laidlaw, innit? Mental. But yeah, nearly finished. So yeah, she then put a sign on the wall, right, saying, because I got fed up with people ripping my sign off the front door, to say, I basically had a polite sign on the front door saying, can all tenants make sure this door is closed, and can you please not force the latch? That was on there before these pair of cunts moved in from London at 11 Hermand Crescent. That was on there way before they moved in, right? But no, what happened when they moved in? They came in, they owned the fucking place, they ripped the sign off, they came up and down the stairs with their dog every single night, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. You know what I mean? Waking me up at 2:30 in the morning in my own house, hanging about the fucking stairwell all the time. Yeah, still get you on CCTV, mate. And when I get my old phone back, I've got to have this one repaired. When I get this phone fixed, I'm going to show everyone on YouTube how much of a prick you were coming up the stairs. I've actually got the video on this phone. The spring broke because I dropped it by accident. I've got the video on this phone of him coming up the stairs. Yeah, I've got him coming halfway up the stairs and trying to grab me and pull me down the stairs. After I said on my phone, hope he gets kicked out. But I shouldn't have said that. But they annoyed me. But anyways, that evening I put a sign on the door to say, look, can you please stop forcing the door? And that was that, right? They ripped it down about 5 times. I thought, fuck this shit. I'm gonna put some permanent marker on the wall. I'm gonna fucking put do not force the door or force the latch on the wall. So I did, right? Because they can't do anything about that. They can't wipe that off, can they? Well, they didn't wipe it off. What did they do instead? The stupid cow at 11 Hermand Crescent, she put her own fucking note up next door to my graffiti, apparently, right? It said, graffiti is a criminal. Right, you're gonna fucking laugh now, guys. This is how pathetic this cow was, right? Yeah, you. Moo! She basically put a sign near mine, yeah, saying, do not graffiti on the wall. Graffitiing is a criminal offence, and we have taken pictures and the police have been called. What the fuck? I didn't even fucking graffiti the wall in the first place. It was ink that came off the wall. Do you know what I mean? Oh, and then she put, right, famous last words, Laidlaw, some people pay to live here. Should we say that again? Some people pay to live here. I do pay to live here? Actually, you fucking fat, ugly, retarded ape. Sort your fucking hair out, you ape. That felt good. But yeah. So that's what I had to endure, guys, living at Hermand Crescent. Yeah. And then I had these students that live next door to me. Did I fancy that tall student? Oh yeah, of course I did. I want him to skull fuck me over the sofa. Maybe that would have happened, Matthew, if you'd invited him for a bit longer. I know, maybe. Michelle did fancy him, actually. We're gonna show him. Hello, posh, trendy student. We'll show you Michelle looking her best. You ready? Oh, darling. I know you know, let's just say a bit on the by side, but You couldn't deny me, I don't think. You know what I mean? I like my new look. We're not going to wear the makeup anymore. Why? Because apparently I'm a freak. Don't think so. Just like wearing makeup some days. Days I feel depressed or angry or upset, I just put fucking makeup on. So what? Who gives a shit? But yeah, did you have a hots for the student? Oh, I did. What's his name? I forgot his name now. I think it was Robert. Or Rob. No. Robert or Rob? Robert someone. But no, I did fancy him. He was fucking fit as fuck. He was my type as well. Oh! Robert, if you're watching, comment on here and marry me, please. Do you know what I mean? He did upset me though a little bit. Not him, this other student that used to live next door to me at Hermand Crescent. I was number 5 Hermand Crescent. They were number 4 Hermand Crescent. But he did upset me because his mate of his, I heard him on the phone one night. And I could hear him word for word because the walls were thin in my living room. And he was like, oh, yeah. I mean, who the fuck do they think they are, right? They're posh, trendy students, fair enough, right? This one guy, not the one I fancied. But he was like, oh, yeah. Oh, we're getting straight on to main management about that. We're not having that. We're not having that living here. No. Well, we're dealing with it. Don't worry, he's going to be out. Who the fuck do you think you are? Who the absolute do you think you are? I'm going to haunt you to the day you die. You posh, trendy little fucked up little prick. You know what I mean? Coming in and out of his car. I've got pictures on my phone of his car and videos on my phone of his car. You know what I mean? Fucking horrible little Hey Arnold prick. You know what I mean? If he's watching, swivel on it, mate. Absolute prick. Then he used to come back at 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. Laidlaw. And bang the door at 1:30 in the morning. Used to bang all... I went into their flat because before they moved in, right, they don't know this, but the landlord of that property actually shooed me around that house because she asked me if I wanted it, but I turned around and said, no, I'll stay in mine. I should have fucking took it. I should have done. It was beautiful. It was like my room. It was lovely. Honestly, it was beautiful. Well, not my fucking flat falling apart and the kitchen was falling apart. I had to deal with a 1960s kitchen for a year. Never again. No. If you get offered a place and it's got a 1960s kitchen, I'd say walk away. It's not worth it. You know what I mean? But then I upgraded. I moved into a different council flat. It's lovely, beautiful, all brand new and modern. You know what I mean? Oh, before I go, the reason why I left Edinburgh, left everything behind and never going back again, it's not because I'm evading court. Well, not evading court, but like, well, I am not going there. I'm not putting myself through that shit, basically, right? But the reason why I left is because the previous 5 days after I got arrested and charged for that shit, the police that used to live next door, because my flat was right opposite a police station, they came back and the fucking neighbours, these cunts that I'm talking about, they put in another allegation about me. I just thought, you know what? I'm not having this anymore. I'm not having it. Not fucking having it. So, yeah. To all the neighbours back at Hermand Crescent, I hope you fucking die of COVID. Bye! Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for supporting me, guys. And, Laidlaw, I've never been better.